Hey guys, NeedlessSpace here. Today we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 and the best PvE weapons to use in Season of Arrivals and how to get them. Welcome to the channel with fast and easy guides to get straight to the point. If you can appreciate that, please consider leaving a like on the video and subscribing to the channel. It helps me out tremendously. So Season of Arrivals has been out for a few weeks now, and it's probably time for a lot of you to start jumping into some endgame PvE activities. So we're going to list the best weapons to bring along with you and exactly how to get them. Some are old but still haven't been dethroned, and some are new to the bunch. And of course, just about any weapon could be viable, but these are the ones that are currently being used the most in endgame content to give you a great advantage. So to start this list, we have the False Promises Legendary Auto Rifle. This auto rifle is brand new in Season of Arrivals, and it is a 360 RPM auto rifle with high impact frame. This gun is actually the first one I rolled with for some time to level up. It feels great and has some decent range to it. And at the very least, it's actually viable in PvP as well. The best way to get this gun is from the pyramid-focused Umbral engram or rifle-focused Umbral engrams in the prismatic recaster at the tower. Next up on our list is Temptation's Hook, a legendary sword that was also introduced in Season of Arrivals. Now, Temptation's Hook is one of the most accessible boss killers this season. There are plenty of amazing builds for this weapon, especially because of the new seasonal mods that make swords much more viable, but the cherry on top is getting the roll with the Vorpal weapon perk. This will allow you to deal insane amounts of damage to bosses. You can easily farm this weapon out through pyramid-focused Umbral engrams and edge-focused Umbral engrams at the prismatic recaster. Next is our first exotic on the list, and it's going to be Whisper of the Worm Exotic Sniper Rifle. Now, this weapon has always been a powerhouse for single target damage in PvE, and it still hasn't changed. Not only does this gun hit insanely hard with precision shots, but if you can keep landing them, you'll never have to reload, making this weapon one of the highest single target DPS weapons in the entire game. You can get Whisper of the Worm from doing the Whisper exotic quest on IO, and I've actually created a video on the fastest way to complete it in detail. Next up is another amazing exotic, the Anarchy Exotic Grenade Launcher. This one fires arc grenades that basically stick to wherever they hit, and if they're close enough together, they'll chain arc bolts between them. Now, at first glance, this exotic seems more fun than actually being viable for damage output, but it's very useful in clearing adds and also useful for boss fights, because you can stick 2 grenades to a boss and then swap to another weapon while they continually damage it. You actually can't increase the DPS doing it this way past 2 grenades, so all you have to do is stick 2, then swap. The only way to get Anarchy is by completing the Scourge of the Past raid. It will drop at the final chest at the end of the raid. Speaking of fire and forget weapons, next up is another exotic grenade launcher, Wither Horde. Wither Horde is a brand new exotic introduced this season, and it has been highly talked about. It fires a single grenade that when it hits the enemy, it will do initial damage and then continuous blight damage over time. And even better, if you miss the enemy or if you just decide to aim at the ground, it will create a damaging pool of blight. So again, just like Anarchy, you're going to want to fire this grenade, then swap over to another weapon for more damage output. And this strategy works perfect for this gun because if you get the catalyst, it will actually reload itself while stowed away. You can currently get Wither Horde through the Season Pass at rank 0 for the people who purchase the Premium Season Pass, and at rank 35 for free-to-play players. Next up, we have a very underrated weapon, and that's Zeno Phase, the exotic machine gun. This one fires explosive rounds that do quite a bit of damage and can easily destroy clusters of adds in one shot. This is a great safety weapon for when you start to get swarmed by adds, and it still is useful for boss damage as well. But you'll definitely want to use some mods that will increase the ammo carrying capacity because it's definitely lacking in that area. Zeno Phase can be picked up through its exotic quest that involves taking a special path through the Pit of Heresy dungeon. Again, this one I do have a video that goes into more detail. Next up is the second and final sword on the list, Falling Guillotine. This is a legendary sword that is easily a step up from Temptation's hook, but is slightly harder to get. It has a special vortex frame spin attack that partially bypasses enemy shields and can take out multiple enemies. And on top of that, it will also buff its own damage after a couple swings. I took this one into the new Prophecy dungeon and can easily kill the Taken Knights in just one attack. You can get this sword through the season pass at rank 30, even if you're a free-to-play player. And after that, it will also be added to the Umbral Engram loot pool. Now, the next two I'm actually going to group together because they're pretty obvious for veteran players and have been on the throne for a very long time. Mountaintop, the legendary grenade launcher, and Recluse, the legendary submachine gun. Surprise, surprise. Now, these two have been a powerhouse combo for endgame PvE for some time now, and can both be acquired through separate pursuits that can be picked up from shacks. These pursuits are actually pretty lengthy and surprisingly involve accomplishments in PvP activities. Let me know if there's any weapons you think should have been added to the list, and actually just let me know what weapons you guys have been rolling with in PvE content. And I hope you enjoyed this list and found it somewhat useful. Make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell because there will definitely be a lot more Destiny 2 content coming. I will catch you guys in the next one, and as always, good luck and have fun.